Today we are doing a live stream. To follow up on my Zoologist video earlier today. How are you? I am fantastic and I'm doing really well. Oh my goodness gracious me, it's cold. It is very cold in this house. I cannot tell a lie. I mean, I can't tell a lie, but I'm not going to. Oh, the inside of my room stinks of that Tyrannosaurus Rex. That shit is potent. Potent. Hello, Bob. What's happening? Duc d'Orange. That's right. Duc à l'orange. How art thou, Bob? Quack. So I sprayed some Tyrannosaurus Rex on a test strip about 5 hours ago. My room stinks of it still. Still got the test strip. Hello, Josiah. It was nice to talk to you on Eugene's stream last week. I felt like I crowded you out a little bit when I came on. I do tend to talk. Sorry about that. Hello, Adam D. Yeah, I don't know if you have watched the video I did today, but I'll be talking about that and some vintage and the nature of vintage perfume in this video. In this video, it's not really a video, is it? It's more of a live stream. I say it's more of a live stream. I mean, a live stream is what it is, isn't it? Jesus. So, today I am wearing Santal Messiah again. I was talking to Eugene about it earlier because he's wearing it today as well. We didn't plan it. But he's wearing Santal Messiah as well. And I felt like Eugene made a really good point about it. There's no sandalwood in this perfume to speak of. It's more of a fig perfume with a general sort of woodiness and a creaminess. It's very well made, very well blended. I think I made the point to Eugene that I thought the Hermes Essence were almost completely synthetic. Like, that doesn't feel like there's any natural sort of notes in there. That doesn't necessarily mean that the smell's synthetic. It just smells like a bit like Diptyque. And I really like Diptyque. I've got like 5 or 6 Diptyques and I love them. They're class. But I feel like all the ingredients in the Diptyques, and I feel the same way about the Hermes Essence, it feels like all of them are like synthetic materials. So the sandalwood's more of like a vibe, a vibration, you know, rather than a note. Sandalwood in other perfumes like Sandalo from Lorenzo Villarese, that's got sandalwood in it. So we were discussing the nature of that, but I do like it. I think it's a great one that you could throw on spring and cooler summer days. Not sure how it would fare. Fig does rather well in the heat, so that'll be interesting to try, you know. Oh, I need to say hello to everyone. Let's have a look. Who's here? Welcome, Bob. Welcome, Josiah. Welcome, Adam. Hello, Bri. Micah, how are you? Bry's in Rose de Jamal today. Yes, I've got a bottle of that. I'm meaning to wear that. T-Rex saturation, says Bob. It is. It's massive. It's massive. Raj is here, the sentient man. Good evening. Liverpool game on one screen, Rich on the other. Don't let the bubbles distract you. Welcome, Raj. Is Eugene's perfumes will be made available in the UK? I bloody hope so. I'm sure they'll find a way. He'll find a way to get them out to us somehow. I'm sure something will get sorted. Maybe they're going to be shipped from France or something, you know. We'll do something. Like, even if I've got to go over and... Do you remember when people used to go over to France for like cigarettes and stuff like that, and like a booze cruise? Go over and do that with perfume. It's like, I'll get a Cessna or something like that, and I'll just fly over there under the radar. Yeah, I don't get sandalwood from it. I get milky fig and some wood. Yeah. It's about what I get from it. Like, thing is as well, I've got that 200ml bottle, so I can just throw it on. And I put it on about 4 times in a day. I must stink of it. Welcome, MJ. Scent of the day is private label. Ooh. Hi, Vetiver Freak. Scent of the day is give us a second. Chanticale Vetiver Cedra. I suppose it would be a vetiver fragrance, seeing as you are vetiver free. Scent of the day is Opus 6. A little dabble, do you? Yeah, I think Ramsey talks about how much that, how massive that is. Fig's a classy note. It's lovely. You can do a lot with fig, but it's also very, how do I want to say this? So you can do things with fig that you can't usually do with most notes, but it also, by the same token, restricts itself for the same reason. I couldn't imagine a winter fig fragrance. I just don't think it would work. Does that make sense? Rose de Jamal is so good, says Josiah. I need a bottle. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fantastic. The sentient man is wearing Centauri's Om. Ah, yes. Peter's Om. It's a good Om. I smelled it. I still want a bottle of Gaia, but I'm waiting on Peter doing something before I buy it. Hi, gents. Hi, Christy. Scent of the day, Houbigant Quelque Fleur Royale. Nice. I've heard of Quelque Fleur, but I didn't know it was a Houbigant. Adam, yes, I go to France and Switzerland for stocking up on shower gel. Yes. Everywhere is cheaper than the UK at the minute. I saw an article in a newspaper talking about is the UK the world's holiday rip-off capital? Where people go on holiday to get ripped off. I was like, yeah. Here in Norway, prices in Norway are insane for everything. Everything. Crazy. Scent of the day, Enotus. Pure distance. Good day, Duck. Good day, Jonathan. How are you? Forgive me while I yawn my fucking head off. I need to sort it out. I'm shattered. What the hell's going on? I was full of vim and vinegar like 5 minutes before I came on, and now I'm fucking yawning my heat off. Anyhow. Hello, Shiva Vareen. Hello, Fragheads. Hello, Mitchell. I'm not actually a Mitchell. Although I am a Mitch. I'm not a Mitchell. A lot of people make this statement. I'm at peace with it, though. It's calm. I'm not upset. Never upset. Scent of the day, Abraj, Spirit of Dubai. Ooh. Did you finally get those Spirit of Dubais in? Oh, it's calm, Shiva. Don't be silly. Don't worry about it. Ah, hello, Sebastian. How are you? Shiva, does it hurt every time you spray one of those Spirit of Dubai on? The prices of those are they're not cheap. Scent of the day. I saw that, Sebastian, before you took that away. Great fragrances, Jonathan. Is that one of the really expensive ones, Shiva? Scent of the day is Pure Magnolia. Who's that by? What do you think of Tom Ford for Men? Outrageously, I wore it yesterday. It was quiet. It was very quiet. It's got a very, like, I don't want to say citric, but it's got like a citrusy fresh top, and it dries down a lot more sort of complex and darker and a lot more Tom Fordy. But I could barely smell it all day. I was shook. Was it, where are you? Tom Ford's usually give it big licks. I'm well, thanks. I hope you are. I'm glad you are, sir. Hope all is well with you. I am fine, thank you. Per Magnolis. Scent of the day, Fougere Royale. That's the second Hubegant we've had. Host beef. How was host beef? Nargessi is the uber expensive one. $1,280 with tax. Good Lord. That is pain and suffering. $1,280 with taxes. And did you say you can't hide them? Oh no. The only Tom Ford that I'm fond of is Neroli Portofino. I like Neroli Portofino. I'll tell you something. I bought a Tom Ford candle yesterday. I bought an oud wood candle. Quite looking forward to it. I think I'm going to save it for autumn. I've got a couple of diptyque candles I'd like to use. I've also got some Penhaligon's candles as well. There's an Earl Grey tea. There is an Assam tea. And there's another one, which I can't remember. I think it's Quercus. Scent of the Day's Russian tea. Great fragrance. Absolutely fantastic. It's just a shame they don't do 100 mils anymore. Bryce says, I saw a news has a bottle, but you're saying it doesn't perform, so I don't know. The only way to tell is to find out for yourself. You never know. It might be massive on you. Ask other people. Ask other people. Other people might have a different experience. I got mine from a news, though. So... Drawn by Santillo Bubbles. Scent of the Day, Molten Brown Juniper Jazz. Not too bad, I guess. I like those Molten Browns, but the performance is shocking on me. 3 to 4 hours, if that. If that. Anybody familiar with Graham and Pot perfumes out of London, I believe? Not off the top of my head, Alan Hansen. Mr. Hansen, I have a favour to ask of you when you come over to England. If you are coming over later this year, I will email you about it later. Per Magnolia is from Cartier, from their Les Epures. All right, let's give us a sound. Their Les Epures de Parfum line, I think it's called. They have Per Kinken, Magnolia, Muguet, and the most recent is the Rose one. Oh, they're very floral. The sound floral. I've never heard of that line. I did last week purchase Oud and Oud and then return it because I found it £70 cheaper somewhere else. And I still haven't gone and bought it yet. I'm not sure I want. The performance wasn't great. For 325 quid for 75 ml, I want I'm not ashamed to say I want big licks, £4 a mil. I want big performance from that. I want to be able to at least smell it on myself. And the Oud Nude wasn't massive. Scent of the day, Soul Cafe by Savoir Favre. I just know I've butchered that last one. Savoir Faire. Shiva Varina. It serves me better than buying some woman a two grand handbag for her to put a $70 lunch, $70 and a bunch of receipts in. Yes. It's also about half the price. You get two of them. Evening, Rich. Good to see the T-Rex piece earlier. That stuff. I've got some on it. I've kept the sample stick, and it's still giving it big licks in my bedroom. My house, like me bedroom, stinks of it. I keep getting wafts of it. Crazy sauce. I'm going to try it on my skin. I've also got a little update as well. I'm going to try Snowy Owl on my skin as well. Changed a little bit. Changed a little bit, and it's quite nice. It's a little bit like Tears of Iris by Gucci. Very similar iris note. Got that sort of, I don't want to say carroty, but it's got that like crunch sort of thing going on, you know? Hello, Rich, chat. Hello, Interference. How are you? Detique Feu de Bois candle is the winner. Quite. Molten brown body products are great. Molten. I do know what you mean. Please do, Rich. Happy to budge. If I can, I would appreciate it greatly if you did, but I'd like to speak to you about it first because it might not be something you want to do. Often get propositioned with things that you might not want to do. Bryce says, I want a bottle of 1932 Chanel. Has anyone tried it or familiar with it? Not off the top of my head. Enrique Vasquez, did you watch yesterday Manchester City versus Real Madrid? I did. Outstanding. Every tiny little mistake got punished. It was a really good game. I do know what you mean, Krista. Neil Francis. Why sent you watching the most successful football team? Why aren't? Neil, why aren't you watching the most successful football team in the UK? I am big on football, but I did feel like I wanted to do a video today. I wanted to do a video and a live stream, I beg your pardon. A couple of things I'd like to talk about. I want to do not a post-mortem, that's not the right word. Like a sort of like a review so far of like the Zoologist type perfumes and stuff like that. So I thought I would just come on here and talk about it. It's easier. Pradeep, how are you? Hi, Rich. How's it going? I'm in Prada Infusion Dome. Nice. It's a good iris as well. Totally different from this iris. Infusion Dom's like a previous generation iris. This feels like a more like a newer iris. You know? Snowy Owl I'm talking about. Very white. I get it. I get like the story they're trying to tell with it. I need to catch up with the comments. But I've got Infusion Dome, a little 50ml bottle. It's fantastic. I love 1932, says Sebastian Furtado. T-Rex. Bob. Christy, yes, I like molten brown eucalyptus shower gel. Oh, I imagine that's outrageous. They used to have one called Silver Birch, but now discontinued. I've got their eau de toilette of Russian leather. And it's quite nice, but it's very birchy. Very birchy. Ooh, I love Oud Nudes, says Sebastian. I don't think any of their Ouds are super loud. I find them more subtle for sure. Yeah. Yes. Alan says, for the Cartier Oud Nude, I still suggest you hunt down the 45ml version or the mini 15ml version, which is very similarly attractive bottle. I'd buy the 15 mil. These 15 mils of the Hermes Essence are perfect. Shiva Vareen, your content has convinced me to buy a Zoologist Discovery set also. Real niche along with Auto Parisi. That's good. I do, like, I'm happy to sit here and tell you that if you are so inclined towards niche and that sort of thing, that Discovery set was 100 quid well spent for me. I really have enjoyed it. I haven't liked all the fragrances, and I'm not going to, out of like 18 or something like that, I've decided to test like 6 on skin, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy a bottle of one of them. I'm already set, unless it does like something on my skin that's like, wow, no. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a bottle of one of them, and then there's a good chance I might buy another couple, depending on what they do on skin. So that's what samples are for. It's what sample sets are for. And I will be buying them. I won't be getting them sent for free. So you know that I'm like putting my money where my mouth is. You know, it's the best recommendation anybody can give you. I tried something, I liked it, so I bought it. You know, brilliant. My bottle of Gucci Nobile arrived. I'm over the moon. I imagine you are. It's fantastic, isn't it? I wore it the other day. Very mossy. Big oak moss. You wouldn't get the same effect if you were to release that perfume today. You just couldn't recreate the oak moss in it, you know? It just couldn't be done. Doesn't matter what the sort of used. What's this? Silence Sense. All right. "1932, Bob approves. Excellent pickup," says Jonathan. "Raj, I hope you're doing well, young man," says Bob. And after action review, post-mortem low. "The line Les Epures has the intention to capture the pure and simple aspect of specific notes. She does it quite beautifully, I find. I like it when a house has a in-house perfumer. I've always find that it's a separate point, but I'll come back to what Sebastian said there. In-house perfumers always seem to do the best reformulations, and I'm sure it's because of the continuity, you know. Jacques Polge brings back Cuir de Russie in the 1980s, and then gets to reformulate it for the Les exclusives in the mid 2000s. The quality they feel is going to be similar because he's working on his own work. What also this grants, and this comes back to Sebastian's point, is an in-house perfumer can give a house's overall collection or their overall like fragrance wardrobe a sort of like a thread or like a feeling, so all the perfumes sort of fit together, you know. So I didn't know this line existed, but I can imagine what they would smell like simply because I know the perfumer and I know the brand, and it's something that I would know will be of a certain quality. I wouldn't know where to find that line in England unless I was to go to the boutique, and they had one in London. Cartier stalls in Manchester, in Selfridges of Manchester, didn't have much. I beg your pardon. The discontinued Roadster, which is a terrible blow. I absolutely love Roadster. I know it's a bit basic, and it's like one of the, it's not like a high-end niche like private line, but just Roadster's so nice in the summer. Bergamot, mint. Feels like patchouli, but I don't know that patchouli's in it. Gives an appley sort of fragrance. Josiah, if it has iris, I'm interested. It does have iris. It's called Snowy Owl. It's nice. It reminds me of Tears of Iris. It's that similar kind of like crunchy iris. I want to call it crunchy because it reminds us of a carrot. You know, like rooty. Like it's got some. All I can picture now is like, do you know bean sprouts? For some reason, all I can picture is bean sprouts. Just don't. That's not what they smell like. Shiva Marine, that discovery set size is perfect. I will hand off any samples that I don't care for to my sisters. They'll be shocked. There's a couple in there that are really quite feminine. That, well, what you would call traditionally feminine. They have a lot of florals, a little bit of fruit and stuff like that. And like violet. A violet leaf I like. Violet flower I'm not huge into because I don't like Parma violets. And it always reminds us of that, and I just can't. The association is established and cannot be broken. I have about a dozen 10ml travel size bottles from a zoologist, but only one full size, which is Camel. Camel is on the list of things for me to try on skin. It's incensey, isn't it? Christy says, I have the Milton Brown. I have the Milton Brown vetiver and grapefruit and citrus and sea fennel lotions and gels, both so unique. I imagine their bath products are lovely. West Garlic. Hello, Rich. My scent of the day, a caster by Parfums de Marly. A Parfums de Marly, Wesley. That's all right. No judgment. I've actually never smelled the caster, but I will say something. The worst fragrance I ever smelled was a Parfums de Marly, and it was one of the first, and it's called Ispazon. I never thought I would say this, but it's worse than Cooper Square by Bond Number 9. It was horrific. It was awful. Do you know, I'm not even sure what it smelled like anymore. I just remember being aghast. Like, it smelled like metal death. Not death metal, but metal death. You know, if you just got like, I imagine it was what. Remember Terminator 2 and the liquid metal one could turn his arm into like a knife? I imagine it's like what, like if you got killed by that, that's what it would smell like. It was awful. Rotten fragrance. Ispazon. What's up, Frag Friends? What's up, Margie Louise? Yep. Margie Louise, what was discontinued? I think you are asking about Roadster by Cartier. Roadster by Cartier has been discontinued. If you can find it, I'll pick it up. Really like it. Just got Lagerfeld photo and a little blind haul. Quite like it, but not as much as honey in it as I expected. Also got Bijan Nude Man. Not sure about this yet, but love the bottle. Giggity. Except our buddy Demaché is not given any thread between Leather Rude and Vanilla Diorama. Christy, out of all the Molten Brown, which one would you recommend to try? Says Adam. Camel is a dusty balsamic incense to me. Yeah, it's incensey, definitely. I wore Tom Ford Metallic, says Christopher Shoemaker. I was at the Tom Ford boutique. I'm going to come back to Lavender Extreme. Scandalous Lavender Extreme. It's just lavender absolute. It's just, honestly, just get Caron, pour on. scandalous. They want 240 quid for 50 mil of that. I was like, what? Got it, thanks, says Margie. Nick says, scent of the day, Chypre Palatine. MDCI are back on sale as Jouvois after Brexit-related break. Blessed Brexit. I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? I wouldn't care, but Brexit, like, it particularly affected Perfume. You know? Just, ugh. Yuck. But there we are. Not to worry. Now, there's nothing wrong, but judgment within our group, nothing wrong. Thick skin, chin up. Now, there's nothing but judgment within our group. All right. Hey, Margie, says Bob. Alan says, Rich, what are your thoughts on honey and related fragrances? Love it. Love it. I've got Miel du Bois by Serge Luton. I've got L'Envol by Cartier, which is fantastic for a designer level scent. For the price, it's brilliant. I've got a fragrance that Ramsey put us onto, which is Boss Number 1, and I've ended up getting 3 bottles of that, 4 maybe. I think I have actually got 4 bottles. I've got 3 120ml bottles, and I've got 150ml bottle. Fabulous fragrance. That's like a urinal cake and honey. It just works. Contrasting fragrance is everything, I think. It's not everything, but it works. Anyway, honey fragrances, love them. I like a honey note in a fragrance as well. I like the honey in Chorus. Honey in B. I think the honey in B is quite nice. It's quite a dark honey. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of honey and related fragrance. Yeah, totally. Especially the older ones. The older ones had more of an animalic honey. These days, honey's much more sweet because it's like a sign of like the time. It's like on trend, you know, like sweet fragrances. But older honey seem to have like that animalic, dirty bee. I've said this many times, and I dare say I'll say it many times again. Bees stink. They've got shocking BO. And you get that from like a good vintage honey fragrance. I don't know how they did it. I don't know whether it was just a whether it was just a whether it was just like a trend thing, or whether it was an ingredient thing which you can't get anymore. But I loved an animalic honey. Fantastic. Drawn by Scent says, the Molten Brown EDPs are a bit pricey, but there are some I'd like to try, especially the Oud one, whatever it's called. Micah says, I bought Lavant by Molinard. Yes, Lavender Extreme is nice, but way overpriced. Spot on. Molinards you get a lot of fragrances for your money. You get a lot of fragrance for your money with Molinard. If you're looking into a house, Chapard, Molinard, great houses, you get a lot of fragrance for your money. Raj says, has anyone tried Roger's Apex? Yes, I have actually tried it. Green, but very modern. Like, there's a lot going on there. It smells nice enough. Just go out and buy the original. It's probably cheaper to just go out and buy a vintage fragrance that smells like that. It's refreshing that others don't like Parfums de Marly. They were the first niche frags I smelled last year. It was pure repulsion. Thanks, Miss Rowland. I immediately unsubscribed. I assume you mean Rawlings. Rawling. Bless her. I love honey too, says Margie Louise. Christy says, Adam D, I've only tried the 2 I mentioned, but I truly think you can't go wrong with any of them. If you end up hating the smell, at least your skin will be smooth. I like the rose one. Rose, if Richie G was here, he'd be able to tell us. Rose Absoluta. Rose Absoluta. Fantastic smell. Honey Oud by Floris. A little bit too sweet, mate. A little bit too sweet. It's like a very sweet honey. You know, it's more like golden syrup. It's more like honey syrup, you know, it's very synthetic. I mean, it's nice, it's pleasant. It'll set off that part of your brain that reacts to like sugary food and gives you a buzz. But you can do better for honey oud, in my opinion. Antonio Hobson says, sorry I'm late for class. Sent to the day in the Charnay Colonnades. Is that the one that's got saffron in it? Welcome, Antonio. Raj says, Rich, is Bois de Portugal worth getting vintage on? Is modern okay? Owned it years ago. I would go for as old a bottle as you can possibly get. Mate, if I were you, I would go into a shop, pick up the bottle of Bois de Portugal and smell it for yourself and see if you think it's okay. If it is what you remember it to be. You know? There's people I'll say something strange. I've noticed there are people who, for the last 5 years, of 10 years even, mentioned Creed. Creed being a great brand, Creed being like, you know, you're going to get Creed quality, it's niche, it's that. And I have heard people in reviews in store and in private say Creed aren't the brand that Creed aren't like Creed aren't putting out fragrances worthy of that they didn't want to buy them anymore, that they didn't think they were worth the money, certainly. Oh, I'm getting a big incense vibe from somewhere. Somewhere in my house smells of incense. So I would get thee to a shop and just smell it. Adam D. Serge Tons are discounted now on All Beauty. They are. That's if you want the new versions. They have got the new versions. If you are interested in Serge Tons and you want to buy them, they have also got the Graziel bottles and they're discounted as well. And there's a few of them like Filanagi, Cuillermoresque, and Borneo 1834 that are definitely worth picking up. Love Honey Oud. Sorry, Antonio. MB pops up on discounters. Same with Penhaligon's. Penhaligon's does as well, yeah, sometimes. Have you tried Slow Dive by Hiram Green? My intro to honey. I haven't tried that. I've heard a lot. I've tried a couple by Hiram Green. I've got to be honest, I wasn't impressed. But I haven't tried all of them. I haven't tried that one. Vic Cloyan says, Bob, how was T-Rex? Shocking, in a way. I'm going to try it on my skin. I like how different it is. It's very smoky, very floral. I get the geranium from it. It's so strange. It's like something was cleansed with fire. It's clean now, but you can still smell the smoke. You know? B comes off quite feminine on my skin. Gave it to my wife. It's interesting. LT Piva Queer has a lot of honey in it, more on the dirty side. Leather Oud's got beeswax, which is similar to honey. And I like beeswax as a note as well. Zoologist bee kind of reminds me of Gaia. It's got that earthy, like, I know what you mean. Gaia's got like honey in it as well. I really like Peter's honey accord. He's good at that. Best flanker names again for Zoologist bee or Killer bee and Son of a bee. Son of a bee. Colonnades is a true summer gem. I'm happy to have it. Drawn by sense, Alan Hansen. I knocked on the door of a place with B&B sign in the window. Not what I expected at all. Parfum de Mal is just a designer hiding his niche. Some of their offerings I enjoy. Sedley and Galloway. I must admit, I'm not massive on that stuff. Like, Sebastian says, Golden Acacia from Ferragamo should be called Golden Honey instead. I love honey too, but that perfume is a honey bomb. I felt sticky when wearing it. Oh. Very honey. How honey? Incredibly honey. Me too. There are two versions of Colonnaise. Sebastian, good to see you, dear, says Aroma from Heaven. Creed took a nosedive. I still like them, way overpriced as well. Yeah. Apparently, like the latest, like I'm not a massive Aventus like thing. I've got a couple of bottles. If you watch the last fragrance rotation, you'll know like I got a bottle for me and a bottle for someone else, and then a couple of months they used like 20 mil, and then a couple of months like after I got them, they were like, "Oh, I don't want it anymore. Will you buy it back off us?" I was like, "Fine." So I bought it back off them, thinking it's Aventus. It's the old 120 mil bottles. They're like 5 years old now. People will be going mental for them. Worst comes to the worst, I could just sell it. About 3 months after he sold it back to us, he asked for it back, and I was like, "Nope, don't take the piss." I was like, "Mine now, dick." Good to see you too, Aroma from Heaven, says Sebastian. Does anyone feel like Galen could be lurking around somewhere nearby? I was lurking somewhere. Don't know if he's nearby. He's lurking somewhere. Micah says, I have the most recent Aventus. It's meh. I have a 250 mil looking to sell. There's always a market for an Aventus, thanks to knuckleheads. It's just been pushed to the moon. You know, it's just been pushed so much that it can't be unpushed. You know, it's made like it's gained traction. It's gained, do I want to say popularity? It's got into like the cultural zeitgeist, hasn't it? It's reached places. It's just like a crossover fragrance. It's like Cool Water. It's like, I don't know, Acqua di Gio. It's one of those fragrances. So that's just where we are with it, you know. There's always a market for the only Aventus thing I've ever had as a deodorant stick. Never used it. I'm thinking of selling it. You'd probably get money for it. Yeah, buddy. Eugene is here. Welcome, Eugene. All the way to Z2 has bubbles. You'll be pleased about that. I did a poll the other day asking people bubbles or no bubbles, and bubbles won like 4 to 1. 3 to 1 was like 75% for bubbles and 25% against. And there was like over 100 votes, I think. Micah says, wish it had been GIT though, which had resonated with the masses. Well, it did until it just didn't in the same way that Aventus did, you know? Some schmuck would buy it. Someone would buy it. Aventus nowadays is an accessory. Place it next to your Rolex, Benz, MacBook, champagne, and post it on Instagram. Buy radios for that too. Pradeep has a point. I'm not sure about buy radio though. Crikey. Rich is forever blowing bubbles. Petrol's cheap. I know, petrol's dear, but cheap to burn hammers. Have you ever seen that, Raj? In the 1980s, West Ham came up with a firm to Newcastle. Looking for fights, because that's just what we did. In the 80s, there was like a massive hooligan scene. The West Ham fans came to Newcastle, and they had to get off the bus and walk into this, and on the side of the wall of the stadium was a message that said petrol's dear but cheap to burn hammers, and there was not a spot of bother. Like an iconic moment in like the 80s football hooliganism. Everyone was very well behaved. It's a story that still gets told up here. It would be even higher if you had an option for static bottles. Imagine. Good evening, guys and dolls. Good evening, Manly. How are you? Mr. Harness, how are you? I'm wearing your socks. Thank you again for those socks. They are fabulous. Alpaca wool in a lovely red. I'm thinking of getting a throw off them. Or like a blanket or something. Maybe there's even a hat and some gloves. Keep it nice in the stream, please. Abide by community guidelines. I don't have any, but apparently you can set some now. Honestly, Michael, they're fabulous. I took them like to my friend's house and stuff like that. I was showing her them. She was loving them as well. She was like, wow. Showed me mother. My mother was buzzing. There's a very good chance I'm gonna be like, see if they'll ship over here. You got the right size as well. The big socks. Scent of the day, Santal Messiah. I'm wearing that too. I was telling everyone before. Hello there, mate. Hello, Eugene. Yes, the West Ham ICF firm. I think they are called. I have no idea. Just an interesting tale about West Ham fans. Scent of the night, vintage Daniel Hector Caractere. I've got that. That Ramon Vial you sent me, sensational. Manly sense. Absolutely fantastic. Wesley says hello to Bob. You will love anything and everything they have. I don't doubt it. Fantastic wool. We're going to get a discovery set from Tower. Which ones would you recommend? Le du Desert American, Lone Star Memories, Au Cours du Desert, Rose Incense, Incense Extreme, Sundowner. Any of them really, Pat. Depends what you're into. Glad you enjoy it. It's absolutely fabulous. If you ever want to sell a bottle, let us know. Can you imagine fragrance hooligans fighting bubbles of sillage? Rich, have you tried any of the perfumes from Perfume Venezia? I have not, Sebastian. If you'd care to tell us what I should be smelling, I'll give them a look. This year is kind of starting to go the way I imagined it was going to go, like sampling niche houses and stuff like that. That's what I intended to do this year. I've really enjoyed doing the Zoologist fragrances. Excuse me. And I have really enjoyed doing the Lorenzo Villarese's. I've only done 4 of them, but I'll keep going. What else have I been sampling? I managed to buy the January Scent Project sample set. So I'm looking forward to trying them after I've gone through the Zoologist. Well, I finished the Zoologist today. I need to try them on skin next. I'm not sure whether I should do the January Scent Project or if I should just carry on until I finish the Zoologist sort of project. But I'm interested, especially Perfume Venezia, because I love Italian perfume. Aloha H2O, says Michael. Pradeep says there is Mistio Rose Essence from Damashi coming next month. Oh God. What, I thought he was meant to be retiring. He hadn't bloody stopped. Apparently there's a new releases coming from Dior in September, including the re-release of Eau Noir. That is something I have heard. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I think you'd enjoy ale. I have been known to enjoy ale before. Do you have a favourite one in the Zoo line? There's a couple that have stood out so far. I'm going to have to see if I can. Super Womo. I'm picking up a bottle of Santal Noir. I know it's a bit polarizing. I liked Oud Rosewood. Santal Noir, that is the Dior Privé, isn't it? Italian perfume is beautiful. My favorite. I agree. Do you think Guerlain might reformulate things that were formerly in the Listerine bottles? I hope not. It's too late now. If they have, it as a rule of thumb, and this isn't a hard and this is like not a by any means like true, but it tends to be the case that when a perfume is put in a new bottle, it has been reformulated as well. This is just going off previous experience. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's happened this time or that it's happened every time. But it will be interesting to smell two of them next to each other and just witness and see if that was the case, you know? Alexandros, Adone, and Super Womo. I'll give them a look. If you give us a second, I'll get a pen. Hold on. Oof, my back. I do not recommend it. Yikes. Get me pen to work. So, Profumo Venezia. Alexandros. That sounds more Greek than it does Italian, but there we are. Deros. Adone. And Super Womo. I've got them written down now, so I won't forget. Happy days. Oops. Spelling Super Womo with an A on the end. That's not right. Oh, I'm enjoying my little excursion into niche from vintage. I must admit, I like discovering new things. And the thing is, with niche, you need to find out of people who aren't pushing things, like a lot of YouTube channels are like pushing free like perfumes from brands they've got free bottles from, and they're not always the best ones. I'll tell you who's put, like, it's not necessarily who, they're not being pushed on YouTube, but there's a brand called Sunna Musk, and they're being absolutely forced down like me throat at the minute. That advertising is everywhere. Everywhere. It's on the sides of buses. I was shocked when I saw that in town today. I was like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You're on the side of a bus. And then it's on like, do you know electronic billboards? It's on like those when I'm driving along as well. Then it's on like, it's every other YouTube like advert that comes up on my channel. If action is by intention, I'll kill you. Stop that. I can't be, and I've smelled them as well, and they're double crap. They're double crap. They're so bad. They're really cheap. There's none of them that interested us one bit. It's all amber wood and ambroxan and the fragrances I mean. It's not like they've got ambroxan as one note or as like a lifter, It's like ambroxan. And that's it. Maybe with a bit of like grapefruit at the top. Yikes. Anyway. Sauvage Elixir has new wooden caps that can keep them. I'm not buying it. Scent of the day, Panheligan Cedar and Moon Bloom from Hiram Green. That's another person talking about Hiram Green. I wonder if he does a sample set. Rose Sandalwood. No. Christoph. Oh, welcome, Christoph. How are you? Guerlain reissued the Listerine bottles. No, they've discontinued the Listerine bottles. I think they've just put them in the L'Homme bottles, which is so cheap. Guerlain's got such a great history of like magnificent bottles, and they're just shitting all over their fucking legacy. I like the Misty Eau Parfum, yes. Ambery thick, says Bob. I like the way you spell thick. Look, they're in the ideal. Yeah, they're in the ideal bottles now. Yeah. What's up, man? What's up, Carl? How are you? I hope you are well. Pradeep. Guerlain had to cut cost even on the stickers on the inverted heart legendary bottles. Looks like a school project. Yeah. It's because they're releasing too much stuff, man. It's overreach. Like, seriously, if like LVMH wanted a perfume brand, why not just take Guerlain and just like make them great? Again, it's a kind of phrase. I don't mean to invoke political slogans, but you know what I mean. Like Guerlain's already got it. You know what I mean? They've just sort of like they're going to go to the wall if they're not careful, because they need to sort it out. I'm telling you. I need to think of a way to like articulate what I'm trying to say there. Carl, do you like any fragrances from imaginary authors? No, I could do with trying them as well. I have never tried them. Apparently they've all got the same dry down. That's something I've heard from them. Apparently they've all got a very similar base. But I could do with getting a sample set from imaginary authors as well. Should put that on the list. Is anyone familiar with moth and rabbit fragrances? No. Moth from Zoologist, yes. Proper niche brands are Initio and Parfums de Marley. Leighton is my favourite, says Christoph. Christoph, you rascal. I know you're joking. It smells good. Would the Hanson brothers all wear the same cologne or three different? You wouldn't be able to tell them apart if they all smelled the same. I can't think of more than 5 really good niche brands. That's a good point. I think there's a lot of bad niche out there. There really is. Hello, Christoph. Welcome, Ram. Defenders of the Realm. Ram and Duck. That's right, Defenders of the Vintage Realm. We like our vintage perfume. Modern stuff. Reformulation. It's not the same. Let me articulate this point a little bit better. I think that owning as close to the original as possible, if not the original, is the best way to experience any given fragrance, because it is the closest thing to what the perfumer, the creator of that perfume, intended the way the perfume to smell, with the ingredients, with the blend, with the packaging. I mean, the perfume has got less to do with the packaging, you know what I mean? But the whole package was better. I also happen to like the way the perfumes are, the ingredients are not sourced, but like distilled, you know, like I tend to prefer lavender in something like Malto Smalto to lavender that I smell produced today, with the exception of Beau de Jour and Music for a While. I also feel like if you want to say things like smell the vintage, smell the original, you've got to own the original. To experience it the way that I experience it, to smell the same thing I smell, it has to be as close to the original as possible. If I was starting out now and I was presented with like the fragrance market as it is at the minute, I would, what would I? I would probably collect fragrances, right, that were released like 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. And if I couldn't get the vintages, I would probably buy the modern stuff. But only because the modern stuff's unavailable now. If it was available, I would buy the vintage stuff. That would save me money. I would rather save my money and have less perfume, but have better quality perfume, than like spend a lot of money on buying loads of cheap stuff from discounters and own a lot of perfumes that smell very similar. A problem, I think, with reformulation is, one, I think reformulation is always done best by a house that's got an in-house perfumer, because they're working on their own work. So I was talking about what Sebastian was saying earlier, or what I said about something that Sebastian said earlier, in that I like houses that have got in-house perfumers, because you get the continuity and you get like the overview. I think that works with reformulation as well. Whereas if you get a fragrance like, say, Zaro Pour Homme, Gerard Anthony made that in 1974. Gerard Anthony isn't reformulating that for the last 50 years. Somebody else is working on his work, and they don't have the picture in their mind of what that should smell like, even if he's got to change ingredients, you know? Even if they've got to change their ingredients, they're not smelling what he smelled. He could do a better job reformulating that, but it's like Gerard Anthony didn't reformulate a Zorro pour on for the last 50 years. Somebody else got a hold of it. Whoever had the rights to it sent it off. And it's the same with Koros. You know, you can't tell me that Pierre Bourdon knocked up the latest version of Koros. I find that very difficult to believe. Do you have to have the vintage to smell what I smell? To smell a perfume the way that I think it should be intended? Yes, I think you do have to have the vintage. There's nothing wrong with buying like the new batches if you've never smelled the vintage, but I want to smell the vintage. Like I saw a haul by Handsome Smells the other day by Wasim, and he bought loads of vintage, like he bought loads of perfumes, right? That were released over like the last 40, 50 years, but he bought like the modern ones and they were all super cheap. And I thought to myself, do you know, if I started collecting now, that's what I would probably do, the way vintage prices are going and like the lack of like availability. I would probably buy the more recent versions of vintage perfumes because they would be the first ones I'd smelled. It's a good way of getting like perfumes that aren't ambroxan bombs. That's what I would do probably now. Or if I wasn't willing to do that and I really wanted the vintages, I would just save up my money, buy one at a time, find them, wait, be patient like I did. Like it's taken me years to build up that collection. It's taken me fucking ages to build it up. Like haven't just got that overnight. So yes. Why did I say that? What the hell have I said that for? There we are. Anyway. Where am I? Go back up. Hello. Rambo. Hi Eugene. When is Matthew Meleg joining you on a stream? Hi Ramsey. Ambroxan makes me wheeze. I really can't stand it. It's when it's overdosed, when there's just a little bit in, you can make it do. You can make it work to your advantage. It's when it's a note in and of itself that it's a problem, in my opinion. This is getting out of hand. Give me a socket wrench. I'll do nothing. Hello there, Anuj. Main man Ramsey. Hello, Michael. Hello, Anuj. Welcome. I hope you are okay. Yes, this is true, says Josiah. Imaginary authors bottles suck. Yes, that's right. I've heard that, Micah. I can see that, but you'll still draw many in, says Bob. I don't know what he means. Leighton is quite complex. Leighton exclusive is my favorite from the house. I also enjoy Pegasus exclusive. The only exclusive ones, like double expensive. Like they're really expensive, the exclusive ones from them. I passed the store when I was in Manchester and I was looking at them and I was hissing. I was like, you are evil Parfums de Marly. But I did notice there was a large price discrepancy between the this was at retail though. So I know Parfums de Marly are famous like discount like places. Famous at discount places, I beg your pardon. Bottles are kind of gimmicky, but I see what they're trying to do. Christoph, I love it when you call me a rascal. you young rascal. Interference. Hey, Rich, you should do a top 100 as well. I tell you something. I know how much Ramsey has agonized over that. He has been working on that for weeks. Pain and suffering. It's torture. Drawn by sense. Looks like Eugene's gone for a 15k run again. Been eating too many of those chocolate eggs. They are 4 vintages together. How about that for respecting the creators? Max 40 style. Max 40, yeah. Not for me. Nah, Christian biased. Love the Ambrox vibe. Like smelling gasoline, etc. Vintage Heritage EDT is my jam. I've got a vintage Heritage. Love living through the 80s. Don't need to smell like it anymore. I suppose it's different if you were there. I never thought of it like that. Still searching high and low for Eau de Hermes. It's out there. They are out there. A vintage. Vasa does reformulation well. Yeah, it's because he's an in-house perfumer. Hi all. Hello, Lego East. Scent of the day, pewter cap Eau de Hermes. Oh. Hey, Rich. As you've been enjoying Russian tea of late, have you tried the Thé Brune by Jean-Charles Brousseau? No. Great price at the minute on Fragrance X. Lou and the Zoologist sampling. Thank you very much. No, I haven't tried it. Never heard of it. I don't really mind the scent, but if I frag has a large dose of it, my lungs feel it. How ironic. It's supposed to be hypoallergenic. Joke's on me. Oh no. If I have Dior 2020 from 2020, is it vintage now? No, you'll have to wait 20 years. Sorry, mate. Panda, true to form, never show up. You spend all day at the zoo and never see them. Seems to be the same with the sample. Yes. To be fair to Victor, he did leave a comment on the video, and it's the first comment he's left on any of the videos. So he's not like he's not standing over as like saying, don't say that, do say this, don't say that. But he did leave a comment saying, oh no, I'll send you a Panda sample, which is very kind. I wasn't raging because I'm sure Eugene's mentioned to us before that like Victor does everything himself, I think, like the bottling and the packing of the samples up and stuff like that. Basically, he's not like a major company, so I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be raging. I was more than happy to buy one from like within the UK. I can't remember where sells it. There's somewhere in the UK that sells Zoologist. And that said, I did get the sample set from him. Anyway, but he did leave a comment saying, I'll send you a sample of Panda. Sorry. I thought that's fine. I didn't get one less sample. He just sent us 2 musk deer instead of a Panda. Not to worry. Micah says, I like Ambrox. Excuse me. That's fair enough. You like Ambrox. Me and Richie G actually bought a bottle each of Isoe Super, and it's one of his most successful fragrances. The shouts he gets at work, people love it. Like seriously, just like it's a bottle of Isoe Super with like alcohol in it, and he gets compliments on it. Crazy. Ego. They fixed the bottle issue, but my bottle is from before that fixed, so I lost 8 to 10 mil just from evaporating. Oh. Kick the stream, says Eugene. Don't kick the stream. Top 5 Dior Privé. What of them? I've got 6. I don't know. I couldn't put them in order. Santa de Santal Majuscule. Good fragrance. Great fragrance. Synthetic, yes. But still better than a lot of natural sandalwood fragrances. It's just mad how that works, isn't it? 42, go take a leak for 50. I am literally going to take a bathroom break. Don't leave. Don't move. Don't look anything. Don't kick anything. Don't do anything. Don't smile. Don't leave, though. I'll be back in a minute. Hold the fort. I'm back. Aha. 38 people. There's actually more people here than when I left. People just come to watch the Bulls, I reckon. I interrupt by talking. Ooh. Oh, just lie down. Thank you. So, where were we? What we got? Kick the stream. Don't do that. Where's the top 10 spring fragrance list live stream with Eugene? Oh. Top 10 spring fragrance list live stream with Eugene. I don't know. Me and Eugene were talking about doing a top 10 leathers, but it never got done, like, which is a shame. But I reckon it's a monumental task, that, you know. Huge task. The yellow bus parking the bus tactics has run out of gas. Liverpool 1-0. I thought the whole ethos of the Hermes Essence line was to use the very best materials possible. I'm disappointed to hear they're mostly synthetic. I don't know for certain, but I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't. "2-0 spoke too soon." Outrageous. Yes, the 1980s was nothing to write home about. Sorry. What's your favourite zoo at this point? I know you're going to be doing skiing. Mine a bee and elephant. Need to get some bottles. I don't know. I don't want to preempt anything. I did enjoy B. Oh, it was crazy. I like the dark honey in it though. Hyrax, chipmunk, moth, camel. Doesn't have to be in order, says Bry. Interference is testing some Bodicea. Does anybody have any opinion on them? There was quite a lot of Bodicea actually at Selfridges. Elephant surprised me, says Josiah. How did it surprise you? Scent of the day, Philip Plein, No Limits. God, the advert for that, shocking. It's just people like that. I mean, it makes you wonder, who says no to these people? Should there not be somebody there to just stop them and say, no, you look like a dick? You know what I mean? Just no. Now's our chance, pillage. No, you may not pillage. And no, it is not time for citruses. No lemons. Don't hide the hydration. I've come in whilst he's away. I feel like I've broken in. You did. Hello. I clicked on the stream without realizing it started from the beginning instead of live and couldn't figure out why Rich wasn't in sync with the chat. Outrageous. Have you caught up, Eugene? What are your feelings on Citron listed in DH Sport? I got the lemon in that gem. Not a fan. Hermes has got a Citron Noir. I wasn't a big fan of that. What are your feelings on Citron? The key to what? Rich's Bureau. Nobody's getting the key to my bureau. Is there anything stand out, Rich, on the Bodicea? I only smelled a couple of them, mate, and I didn't know what the names were. I know Peter had one, but he said it was just a soapy fragrance. Yeah. Stop yawning. Still any plans to get Sycamore one day? No, I've knocked that on the head. unfortunately. Found a bottle, somebody wanted the best part of 400 quid for it, like. And I was like, the EDT version, and I was like, I'm not paying. I don't, it's a vetiver fragrance. Vetiver's a funny note. You can do a lot of things with vetiver, but if it's vetiver centric, it's always going to smell like vetiver. And I've smelled so many vetivers that smelled so similar. I thought to myself, there's no point in spending 400 quid on it, even on a 200ml bottle of something that just smells like vetiver. Have a couple of Boadicea. Some of them are affordable-ish. Love Monarch. The key to where Rich hides all his Rojas and Derjoffs in the bin. You don't want a key to me bin, surely. Elon Musk needs to buy girl on and take it private. Oy. Elon Musk. Too much power, one person. Too much money, too much power. Too much say in the world. It's got an outsized effect on the rest of society. I don't approve. I think plurality is a big thing. If you look at the top 10 most, like, if you look at the top 10 wealthiest people in the world, they've all got media companies. Like 8 of them have got like media companies. Like the people who like own Google are like 2 of them are in the top 10. Elon Musk's in the top 10. Steve Jobs, they all control data and they all control like access to things. It's like it's dodgy as fuck. It's not how it should be. The oligarchs would turn into fucking an oligarchy. That's not how it should be. There should be more plurality. You know? But there we are. Let's not get political if we can help it. No Limits used to be a signature, didn't it? It did not. Not tried that one yet. Ramsey, I have a Boadicea sample I will do a first impression of one day. But I don't like how they have 1,000 different fragrances. Yes. 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 There's a lot of fragrances in a very short amount of time. It's not a good sign, that. You could put Ifra on his shopping list. It's not Ifra. It's not Ifra who's the enemy, per se. It's more like there's a European, there is something to do with the EU that oversees cosmetics, and it's a bit like the FDA in America, but it's like the European Union's one, and they are not hot on fragrance. How would you rate those Hermes Essence travel sizes you got? Agar Ebony is quite good, although I think it smells like Linstone. I don't know how you don't get Linstone from that. Like, it's hugely Linstone for me. A Peace Marine's nice, but it's an aquatic with a cumin note. It's a Peace Marine really reminds me of Eau de Hermes. Fiery, spicy top with slightly citric, salty undertone. Myrrh Eglantine smells like shampoo. But I'm coming round to it. Obviously, I'm not huge on shampoo, am I? And then Cuir d'Orange is very floral. Very floral leather. I don't know that I could own a full bottle of any of those. I'm happy with me 15 mils. I've got them next to me bed so I can just try them in the middle of the night if I need to, you know. You wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night and you're like, oh Christ, I've got to try them quick. I don't like the vetiver that runs in the family of vetiver Tonka, and Bob, Nuida, Meg Eve, and Dunhill Icon. It's a synthetic, I think. Is Sycamore still in production? Yes, but it's the eau de parfum. And now I smell that vetiver Perfume Audace and Boadicea Hanuman. I think it's a synthetic vetiver. I was talking to Eugene about this earlier. It doesn't make sense that Hermes would use a synthetic vetiver because it's widely available. I imagine some of the natural stuff's cheaper than some of the synthetic stuff, but it does smell synthetic. I think Lemon Verbena is a very old perfume note. I think I remember it referenced in the TV show Little House on the Prairie. Be interesting. Ramsey deserves an award for the daily video production. Absolutely. Thoroughly deserves all the success he's getting. Like, his channel's overtaken mine. He's on like 970 and I'm on like 930. I don't begrudge him it whatsoever. He's put in an incredible amount of work. Thoroughly deserved. I'm very happy for him. That's why somebody asked us before, they'll be like, oh, would you be doing a top 100 video when you get to 1,000? I thought, oh, fuck that. Because I just know how much he suffered trying to put a top 100 together. Should say some of the perfumes he left out, man. He sent us like a preliminary top 100, and I was like, wow, you've left that out. I can't believe it. Yes, I am. I fully agree with you, Adam. It deserves an incredible amount of like respect and admiration and credit for what he's done with his channel. Duck, you should buy YouTube and ban the top 10 compliment videos. That's spot on. Somebody quickly give us $100 billion. It'd probably cost more than that for YouTube, wouldn't it? Quickly, just give us $1 trillion. I'll sort it out. No problem. I just find it funny how he loads free speech yet blocks folks on his platform. He's full of shit. Elon Musk, he's totally full of shit. He sacked people for getting in his way at work. Literally he'd be having one of, because he's got Asperger's, right? So he's prone to meltdowns. Fair enough, right? He was having a meltdown in the office one day and he was storming around and someone literally got in his way when they were in the middle of the fucking office and he sacked them on the spot, right? That is not somebody who should be in charge of a massive media company. No censoring, says Bob. You mean the RIFM? I don't know, Manly Sense. I might do. Which boat says have you tried interference? I tried a few in London a few months ago, but I broke for both all the ones I liked. Hi all. Hi, Jura Rose. I think it's the Rose one, if that rings a bell. You're a Rose. I'm a Rose. You're a Rose. Please send Eugene some Russian tea. Scanless, he didn't smell it. You really should. It's really nice. I like it. Mint, birch, raspberry tea. Great fragrance. You a rascal. Yes, that's right. YouTube policy to limit one top 10 video per month. Yes, but that one top 10 video is going to be spread like it's whoever gets the first one. It's like not one per channel, it's one per YouTube per month. Sure, zest be with you and also with you. I have Nima, Nahima, and Imperial. Nima and Imperial. I'm testing Valiant, Hanuman, and Orica. Quid Orange and a Peace Marino worth 200ml sizes. Each. We'll see how I get on with these 15 mils. I love these 15 mils. Did I tell you is what the woman, the sales associate tried to fucking do was the cheeky cow, as if I wouldn't bloody notice, right? These 15 mils come as a 4-pack, right? And I said, like, do you do bigger ones? And she was like, yes, we're doing. No, sorry, I didn't. She said, we also do an 8 and a 12 pack. I was like, ooh. I was like, that's interesting. She said the 4 pack's £134 or £132. And then the 8 pack's £264. And I was like, right, that's twice what a 4 pack is then. I was like, so basically it's 2 4 packs, is what I said to her. And she was like, yes, it is. Yes, it's 2 4 packs. I thought, you cheeky fucking bastard. It was a woman. I was like, you cheeky cow. I couldn't believe it. I thought, nice try. Better look next time. I hope she's never got anyone with that before. I suppose if you fall for that, you deserve what you get. Like, I have an EDT version of What Is Eel on the way. Yikes. Bad performance, apparently. Good day, Jura Rose. There are a few rosy ones, Ramsey. It'll be interesting to see what you get. Sir Michael Harness. Yes. Thank you, guys. Dunhill Icon Absolute has a screechy oud note. Yes, that's right. It does. I thought that one wasn't so bad. Like, but I gave it to Richie G in the end. I gave him all of them. Good on you for supporting Ramsey that way. He deserves it. Like, with a massive, massive bonus to have in the com. Elon Musk it up. You're 70 subs away, Mitch. Share his content, fragheads. With that kind of money, I wish you could buy it from restore the oat moss in balance and post on the world. It's not IFRA, apparently. I was telling Jura, well, I was saying this before. I don't know if Jura Rose was here with my impassioned defense of IFRA. I've read somewhere that a lot of the people at the top have sociopathic tendencies. Yeah, it's not. It's yeah. You've got to. The system rewards it. You know, the system doesn't reward people who are like good to their friends and good to their fucking fellow man and good to their neighbors, and people only do charity work because it's fucking tax deductible. And people only do fucking good deeds like for communities and stuff like that because they get their fucking names on they get statues built of them, they get glory, you know. They all want something in return. You know? There we are. Any other expensive hobbies in addition to fragrance, rich and rum? I've just started collecting well, I say I've collected them, I've only got one. Vintage perfume bottles in like glassware. I've got an 1883 bottle of something with like a silver cap and a stopper. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm gonna get a glass cabinet and put them in there. So I'm looking forward to get starting on that. There's a lot of that stuff about, a lot of stuff like that about. I sent Ramsey. Ramsey sent me a link to an auction for expensive perfume bottles, and some of the stuff like the leak bottles from like the early 1900s going for tens of thousands of dollars. They can keep them for that fucking price. Lick the stream says Phil Stevens. Welcome, Phil Stevens. I meant the RIFM, or like the directors of the FDA, but for perfume. Oh dear. I think I stay back. Did she get back to you about that Birkin bag? No, she hasn't yet, thank God. Are there any little Larvos you liked? Tell you know what? No, I smelled them. Jura Rose took us around them. We smelled a few of them, and I was just like, shite. 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 Ah, Jew. Juju is here. Welcome, Juju. How are you, Ju? I know I have a nervous twitch when someone mentions Ifra. That's right. Panadora fragrances seems interesting, but I don't know if it's one of those niche clone houses. Yeah. Sample first. That's the best advice I can give to anybody about anything to do with fragrance related. Rich, show them your Hermes scarf collection. Beautiful. It was mad when they were trying their scarves on with a scarf ring, wasn't it? Audrey Jane and Aisha going around the Hermes boutique, like trying on, like, they didn't even smell half the fragrances. Audrey Jane's never smelled a Hermes before. And she was like smelling them, and like she wasn't sniffing scarves, but she had like a scarf on and stuff like that. Richie G got the best freebie of the day. He got a little Penhaligon's like pocket square. That always fucking lands on his feet, Richie G, little rascal. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Thoughts on Creed Viking? I wore it yesterday and liked it. It's all right. I don't know that it's worth what Creed are asking for. You know, I don't know if anything's worth what Creed are asking for. You know, no, isn't it? Do 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 Joey do 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 do. Let's have a look, shall we? Newest. Oh God, I can't be replying to all of these. That's a massive, massive comment. Hold on a second. This is now the definitive zoologist review set. We've all well done on all of it. I all have their likes, dislikes. Positive to name it. Thank you very much, Jeff. Oh, Jeff. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to try Snowy Owl again on skin. It's got this irisy, like it smells a lot like Tears of Iris, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's good stuff. I don't know that I wouldn't mind, like if I was just going to get that I would get Tears of Iris, you know. I smelled an Iris Ukoye the other day, Ukiyo. I got a sample of it along with Rosa Cabana. And I was smelling it and I was thinking to myself, I was like, this isn't like a modern iris. This is like the previous generation's iris, you know, like a Dior Homme iris, like a Prada Infusion Dom iris, or just a general Prada iris, because almost all their fragrances are iris. I just thought, fucking hell, like, I don't know that I like the new iris. You know, I think I prefer the old one. I'm getting old. Let's see what the comments say. I'm a Texan, so I do like my guns. If I was American, I don't think I would, like, if you were to just take me from England now and transplant us into America, I wouldn't buy a gun at all. I wouldn't own a gun. It's just not something I'm interested in. But if I'd grown up in America and like it had always been like a thing that had been around us my whole life, and I'd like it was just part of the culture and part of the zeitgeist, I reckon I'd be into vintage guns, like. you know? I think I would be into vintage guns. Just like I was into like older cars. I mean, not really old cars, because cars don't. You've got to remember, in England, it's not dry, so everything sort of fucking rusts. Whereas in America, you've got like real dry places, you know, where you can keep vintage cars and they'll last forever because there's no moisture to rust things. Whereas it's exactly the opposite where I live. So, but I reckon that would be something I would be interested in if I'd grown up around, if it wasn't so alien to us, you know. Did you ever purchase a fake? Not a fake. I've purchased a couple of fragrances that didn't work anymore. If you've ever seen my first impression of Gucci Rush, I was really excited to try that. And when I sprayed it, there was just fucking nothing there. It was so faint. My scent of the day was Agar Ebene. Really, really like it. I think it smells like the girl on Lynn Stunt. Nice Jura Rose. Yeah, Jura Rose, that's my favorite. Glad it's getting the time of day finally after Eugene bashed it years ago. Did Eugene not like it? Oh my god, it's Denby. Denby, what are you doing here? Vintage citrus. Were they the Hermes ones? Richard needs the Birkin points after all. You can get some vintage citrus. Depends how fragrances have been stored. Just because a fragrance has got vintage, just because a vintage fragrance has got citrus in, doesn't mean that it's gone off. I've got a bottle of Loewe Para Ombra that's at least 40 years old, and the citrus at the top of that's stunning. Very bright, very complex. Totally intact, perfectly intact. It's been stored properly. No doubt. Storage is a huge thing. But no, I don't believe I've ever bought a fake. Denby. Might start buying empty perfume bottles on eBay, refilling them with a 50-50 blend of oak moss, absolute, and my piss before recrimping and selling on to the vintage bros. I mean, do you do samples? Sesame chicken and broccoli over rice. I had a chicken curry tonight. It was very nice. Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum is on my what? Plate? Yikes. Enchiladas. Ronnie the Duck likes a pineapple pizza like he's from California. I quite like a pineapple pizza, yeah. Yeah, with ham, yeah. Oh, is that a gun? I couldn't make out the image. It was a gun. Pepperoni and pineapple pizza. Yikes. Drawn by sense, Rich has to be trying to rehydrate his dried lemons. My lemons don't get dry. Pepperoni and pineapple equals heartburn. I'll try it. Rich, what does Rush smell like? Envy or Rush? Envy every time, but Rush is. To be honest with you, Rush I couldn't smell it. It had died. Died on. It was dead long before I bought it. Like it was gone. It was so quiet. Threw me for a loop one time when I was in Texas on vacation. I was eating breakfast at a motel, and then comes a shirtless guy with a gun and a holster. Lol, just different. It's culture, innit? It's a cultural thing. I must admit, all these shootings in schools, that's I mean, it's an easy thing to say and it's an easy thing to think with that. It's just rotten to the core, like rotten to the core. Who the fuck does shit like that? Shingles kicked my ass. Ooh, diseased? Stay back. I do not get Lonston, says Jura Rose. I got the slightest barbecue sauce twang on the opener that I like and some eau de tons. Yuck. Danby old chap, you are still alive. You wouldn't like to touch his old chap if he got shingles. Sorry to hear that. I hear it's quite painful, says Christy. Interference, motel, gun, they go together. Thanks and hello, Jura Rose and Christy. I'm laughing at your empty comment bottle, not your illness, by the way. Sorry to hear it. He's laughing at your illness, and you know he is. It would be interesting to know if companies keep all their fragrances in an archive and test them to see how they change with age. Only after 5 years. They've got to be stable up to 5 years, and then they can't be held responsible for what happens to them. I went to a Baskin Robbins in New Mexico, and then came an older man with a 2 6-inch revolvers on his belt. Lol. No, I deserve shingles, Jura Rose, I agree. I told a lie to someone a week before. Karma, I reckon, but thank you, sir. Oh. Guns are great fun. Ah. Not for me. Which zoologist are you going to buy then, Rich? I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I might end up getting more than one. The way things are going. Jura Rose, you can't be having a nap at bloody 10 o'clock at night, you fool. Jura, I don't think Rich allows lemons in the house, possibly even has a restraining order on them so they can't get to within 2 miles. That would be nice. Imagine you get a restraining order on lemons. It's a... Oops. No. Over. Yeah. But... For future. It's not over yet, but... In future. Flava Sauce just left a comment on the channel. The Zoologist series seems to have intrigued the people. You know. Oops. Rich, have you told the people about your new purchase? Bois. Get some opinions. Bois? What new purchase? Bois. Oh, no, Bois d'Assassi. Bois d'Assassi by Naomi Goods. That's one of the fragrances I'm getting in a haul. But I'm not telling people everything I've got, so don't tell them. It's going to be coming not this week, not next week, but probably the week after. But I'm getting a bottle of Bois d'Assassi. Unless I change my mind and change it again. I was going to get a bottle of Nuit de Bakelite, but shot myself when I found out it was a Juba Rose fragrance. Michael Harness, have a nice nap. Good night, Michael. Cheers, Mike. I didn't like it, says Danby. Smelled a bit monolithic birch to me. It's got a big incense at the top. I've still got time to change it. I could get Queer Velours. I'm getting one of the Naomi Goods at least. And then I'm getting samples of the rest. I'm waiting on a couple of perfumes to come back into stock. What do you think of Bois d'Assassis, Josiah? Good wood smoke rendition, I guess. Nuit de Bakelite is the best, says Dura Rose. What do you think of Swim Blonde? Never heard of it. I much preferred Queer Velours. I like Nuit de Bakelite too. I'll tell you something I smelled yesterday, and I thought the brand was shocking. BDK. BDKs are just cheap, nasty perfumes. Elise Sandra is good too, apparently. A Rascanet you may enjoy. I do enjoy a Rascanet. What do you think of Diane Blonde? It is a massive apricot fragrance. Massive. Massive. I've never known such apricot. I choked on the stone. Huge apricot. Difficult for me to wear, since I don't get much of like the leather or the dime, as it's supposed to be called. It's like suede, isn't it? You know? Didn't get much of the suede in that. I was really looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be like a creamy, light, slightly fruity suede leather fragrance. Not what I got at all. Massively citric apricot scent, you know? Crazy. Oh, I've got an itchy foot. It's lovely, says Josiah. Reminds me of a campfire in the woods, some smoky scotch and some resin sweetness in the dry down. BDK are everywhere now. Why? Because they're just fucking pushing it, you know? It's just being pushed. It's just shit. Swim Blonde sounds like what Frank Ocean would say would name his first fragrance. Bry, says Dura Rose. Nuit de Bakelite is too, not your typical churros. No, I'm getting a sample of it. Yawn. Big yawns. Yes, Stuart. Do you like it though? Do I like what? Diamond Blonde. It's all right. I'm not massive on it. Briar gave her. I mean, Matty loved it. I didn't love it. Did you try Corpus Equus? No, but I've got samples of all the Naomi Good says coming. Damn, sorry, that sounds wrong. I'm officially an addict, says Shiva Vareen. I just purchased 2 auto Parises as I listen. Wow. Shiva Vareen, you still have time to cancel your order. Is he going to do that? Probably not. Yes, Dura, says Bry. Bry the rascal. I'm not tired, but I'm yawning me fucking arse off. What the fuck's going on? Peronomoy. Let's going to take my medication. I'll stay on for another what? How long have I been on for? Just another 10 minutes. I wonder if anyone else will stream tonight. Has anybody watched Ramsey's video? Christ, I'm yawning like fuck. It's unbelievable. I've never known such tiredness. But I'm not tired. Oh, Lord. Oh, I'll sit up for a second while they go down. I'm late, says Dino. Welcome, Dino. Happy to see the bubbles back. I ran a poll. If you go on my community tab, there might still be time to vote. Otto Parisi Sturgis is oily, leathery, oody, and amazing. I'll tell you what else is like that. Corner Queers. Danby, that would have me doubling down come the weekend. Not yet, waiting for yours to finish. Yes, it's not going to be long. I'll be about 10 minutes. I keep yawning and it's doing me tits in. Like, as soon as I started streaming tonight, I started yawning. It's like, well, what are you doing? Is Cologne Royale worth getting? Not really. Not really, to be honest, no. If a screw man didn't even have the courtesy to give me a reach around. They're a selfish lover, aren't they? What else do you like from Otto Parisi? Alan Hansen says interference. I don't know. What else do you like from Otto Parisi, Alan? I have a sample of Mega Mare and own burger mask. I have a sample of Mega Mare. Sounds like a giant sheep. Sounds like a boss in, like, you know, Farming Simulator. Like the final boss, Mega Mare. You've got to try and, like, control this massive sheep. Outrageous. Cologne Royale, but you hate lemons. Oh, the Creed caps, plastic, yes, and they're shocking. I want to get one, but not at retail, so second hand. Wondering if plastic equals counterfeit. Nope, they just feel like they're counterfeit. All of them. They're shit. It's absolutely awful. Creed caps are the absolute worst. Yeah, that's shocking. It's made worse by the fact that they were a good brand. Like, I'm testing Bodicea too, so I didn't want to spray Mega Man yet. Bodicea is so strong that I don't want to spray anything else at the moment. It's like that, what's it called? T-Rex. It's filled me room. Thanks, Rich. It's alright, Floral Notes. Floral Notes, those fancy bottles with the gold caps, they're plastic. Outrageous. Come on, Alan Hansen, that's not OP. Welcome, Jack Dean. How are you? I'm just about to sign off. Creed should take a lesson from Ferrari. What? And send free stuff to Chad. Doing great. Long days. Ooh, long days. Do long days when you're young. Trust us. Not be able to do them when you're old. I don't like expensive bottles, says Dura Rose. Makes me feel bad when I need to throw the bottle away once it's finished. I want plastic. You can't have plastic. I've got a couple of plastic fragrance bottles. One of them is Coros Eau de Sport. The other is Cartier Santos Eau de Sport. Rich, I'm wondering if you know that Chanel gives out 200ml bottles at their events and goodie bags for free. Tiff Benson for example, got one of Boy. No, I didn't know that. It depends. I mean, how much did it cost them to get in? I don't like stuff like that. I've got to be honest, and it's not jealousy or sour grapes or anything like that. I just think it does affect your opinion. That's why they give you them. If it didn't affect your opinion, they wouldn't fucking give them to people, you know? I didn't know Chanel was at that point where they were giving influencers things. You think Chanel are above that sort of thing? Apparently not. Good evening, Rich, and take care. Good evening, Adam D. It was nice to talk to you. Ferrari caps in that line are in that one line are amazing. Jack Dean's made an ablution, it seems. Wind and water. I like more bottles, simple, decent, and recyclable. I like them because they're simple and decent. And I got a friend that got a goodie bag with a lot of free Chanel stuff. Considering how bloody tight they are with other people, you can't get the fucking fragrances in sample form. Dickheads. The cost to get into those events is follower counts. Yes, that's right. Have you smelled Paris yet? No, I haven't smelled Paris yet, but I love Paris Edinburgh. Lovely. That's going to get battered in the summer. It's not long left of spring. It's only another, what, 5 weeks? To get to the cost of those followers. Oh, I found a mini of Koros Oda Sport 15ml. I think I will order it. I would have bought that now. I'd get off this bloody chat, Omar, and I would go and get it now. And then come back. If you find Koros, you order. If you get the vintage one, yeah. Carl, have you done any more videos on that yet? I'm subscribed to your channel. I haven't seen anything pop up by you. No, it's been 4 weeks. You should start a fragrance channel. Anybody else got into Canali? It was a big signature scent of mine, and now I'm trying to remember what it smelled like. No. Cavalli, I've smelled. One of my friends made the mistake of smelling it in a department store and thinking it was the greatest thing since sliced bread and bought it. Lasted for about 3 hours and was raging because they opened it before they realized. Those exclusive bottles are my fave. I like how ergonomic they are, even though they're big. Dura Rose, I like. I just picked up Edinburgh last week. Paris looks feminine. Yes, it's very insightful, Dura Rose. Koros 15ml with sprayer as well. I didn't know it exists. Get. Very insightful. I just made buy the entire Auto Parisi range. So different. Never smelled any Auto Parisi. Isn't he the bloke who did Nasamato? Because if it is, I'm not that interested, to be honest. Those Nasamato are fucking. He's a bit of a rascal. A bit of a rascal, that bloke. Using prefabricated bases in his perfumes and then charging bonkers money for them. Have you got any Canali Anoush? I'd be interested in that. I tried some Joe Loves the other day. Joe Malone's own brand after Estee Lauder kicked her out. Oh, pleasant. She didn't get kicked out. She left of her own accord. That's my understanding of it anyway. Anusha might be interested in it. Might be interested in a vintage of that Canali if you've got any. Canali was a great fragrance. Nice, spicy, and a bit leathery. Would you have that Anusha interference is on the same wavelength as well? I should have asked you first, his interference. With that being said, I love Duro. There's a couple of them. I might take that vintage Canali if you don't mind, Anuj. If you'll keep us one, please. Can you send us pictures? I'm already building a new haul with Anuj. Trying to beat the rise in shipping costs, but I don't know that it's working, to be honest with you. Oh, I just slapped myself in the face. I don't know if you heard that. Oh. Hell did I do that for? Yes, it's AG from Nasamato. Ah, Nasamato. I'm not a great fan of the Nasamatos, to be perfectly honest. I liked Black Afghano about 5 years ago, and I got a couple of samples of it. Paid like £8 for 2 mil. You know what I mean? But he is, I won't say who told us, but someone who I know and trust about these things said that the person who owns Nasamato makes the perfumes as well, and said that they make all their perfume from scratch and it's all individual stuff, but that my friend had smelled them and had noticed that more than one of the perfumes had used had used a prefabricated base, which you can get now in perfumes. Apparently, you don't have to like build them anymore. You can get prefabs, and he'd been using those, and he, like my friend said, he could smell it, and I was like, oh dear. So I'm not really, and I think his fucking pricing structure is ridiculous. I don't think that they are different. I'll give them that. They are different, and there's a premium on that at the minute. You know? There's a premium on stuff being different these days. Is a vintage polo green a must? Oh, fuck. Not necessarily a must, in my opinion, because I'm not massive on it as a fragrance. Like, but if you're into vintage fragrances and you like that sort of smell, pine, tobacco, then it's not a must, in my opinion. Sample it first, see if you can get a decanter from someone. Yep, this is a news. Bri, get in touch with a news. You might help you out with some vintage polo. Email or WhatsApp them. If you don't ask, you shall not find out. Rich puts things aside on Shantae, then gets a monthly delivery like a subscription box. That's exactly what I do. They've had prefabs for a century. Delair. I don't know what that delay means. Oh, fuck no, it's Galen. Shut up, Galen. Ah, Black Afghano. I know Limbanol Ood, a court to destroy your soul, draped over a fat, sweaty butt cracker court. Do you like Black Afghano, Jura Rose? Butt cracker court? I don't get butt crack from it. I certainly don't get cannabis from it, though. That's just a massive lie. Ooh. Ramsey thinks that, yes, Ramsey's here to tell you that he thinks that vintage polo is a must. I imagine there are a lot of people who are into vintage perfumes who would tell you that vintage polo is a must. I should definitely give you like that other side of the argument thing. There'll be loads of people who will sit and tell you that that is a must. It's one of those outlier vintage. It's one of those outlier vintage perfumes that I'm not huge on, to be honest with you. Like most of the classics I love. Not so big on that one. Interference. Oops, sorry. I swear that I had a brain fart. Huh? I think vintage polo green is a must, bro. Ram. Joe Malone peddled to an impoverished mainstream consciousness of what a fragrance can should be by producing wilting, pallid, and feeble fragrances lacking complexity, charm, and most importantly, ambition. Bloody hell. That was a lot of big words. Or small words that aren't usually used. No worries, Alan. Same for all intents and purposes. I've pardoned Enduro. I'm not massive on the thingy. Rich, you need to hydrate. Final hydrate. God damn it. Dura Rose keeping an eye on us. No worries, Alan. Oh, sorry, I've read that. Interference. I'm also in a nursing Zoom debriefing meeting at the moment. Sturgis is my only OP. My papa wears black Afghana. I instantly run away. Jura, you perfumers work with strange materials and accords. He certainly does. Jura Rose should be exiled from FragCon for his support brown nosing of Joe Malone. I don't like those Joe Malones. Some of them are nice, just nice. There's none of them I would ever shell out money for. I've got to be honest. I can't love any of the Joes. Like I say, there's some nice ones, but there's some fucking bland as fuck ones. Like Nasamato Pardon had a vaguely familiar smell. It was the smell of cheap pink balloons. It is caused by fixatives. Pardon is my only sister scent, although I give my partner Baron Danduro and I wear these on occasion. I'll have to try it, Alan. Look at us giving disclaimers. We need a preset disclaimer. This rec doesn't take into account your fragrance collection financial situation, and past performance may not indicate future results. Yes, that's right. Seriously, if you don't fucking people, man, honestly, like, it's not my fault if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not talking to Ramsey there. I'm sort of talking with Ramsey there. Like, if I see something's good, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to run out and fucking buy it for an exorbitant price. Like, have some personal fucking, like have some, like, responsibility. You know? If you're getting into financial difficulties chasing anything, like that's like a hobby. And that's what this is. It's a hobby. Collecting is a hobby. Perfume collecting is a hobby. Don't spend what you haven't got. People are crazy. Was Joe Malone hot? I've no idea. One of my exes used to layer LDDM and Black Afghano. Horrible woman. Yeah, she sounds an horrible woman. I do love mimosa and cardamom. I'm not sure how I feel about mimosa. The only mimosa fragrance that I've ever smelled that was like mimosa centric was the Prada one. Joe Malone sea salt and vinegar. Sea salt and vinegar. Oh hey. That is tremendous. That is comment of the night. Hold on. Let's see what we're gonna do for that. There it is. I've pinned it. Sorry, those fucking pinned messages are a nightmare. Sea salt and vinegar. NBU. Velvet Rose and Oud Extra. What's that, Lego East? Joe Malone perfumes make me feel nothing. I may buy one to meditate. They are perfumes for like staring into the void, aren't they? I would like to try sea salt and vinegar perfume. There'll be one out there. Demeter fragrances used to make like proper like obscure weird fragrances like pizza and stuff like that. If you look at Demeter, they've got loads of crazy perfumes. Excuse me whilst I yawn. Jack Dean, just don't wash your hands after eating the sea salt and vinegar. Yes. There was a pizza fragrance by the Domino's or Pizza Hut. Yes, there was, but there was a pizza fragrance by there was a pizza fragrance by Demeter. Burger King Eau de Flame. Favorite pizza house, Rich? Asda's Create Your Own Pizzas. Asda's Create Your Own Pizzas were tremendous. I don't know what they're like now. I like the vintage ones, obviously. You know what I mean? But Asda's Create Your Own Pizzas are fucking marvelous. Like, excuse me whilst I hydrate. What time are we on? Ooh, give it 10 minutes and then I'll go. I might go and make a sandwich. Was there a Demeter sweaty butt crack? Probably. Jurors after the EDP? Probably. Why? I'll stop yawning as soon as I'll stop yawning as soon as I get off stream. Examine Truth. Welcome. I don't believe I've ever seen you before. How are you? What is your favorite rose scent? Yikes. Yikes. Possibly Kazemi by House of Matriarch. Very nice. Spicy. Wet rose. There are others though. Hohan Club by Balenciaga. That's really good. It's a dark rose. Do you like soapy fragrances? Yeah, some of them, yeah. Prada Ramba Pour Homme. That's a great fragrance. Really love that. Paco Rabanne Pour Homme Koros. couple of the Aqua de Palmas. Shit, I'm hungry again. Says Anoush. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do I believe in what about Jesus Christ? I believe he existed. Jack Dean asks, ha ha ha. It's taking a bit of a left turn there, Examine Truth. That he rose. What, he wore rose perfume? Or that he rose from the dead? Not hugely. Not if I'm being honest. I don't think he came back from the dead. But what could have happened is that they could have crucified him and then stabbed him with the spear, right? And that he was unconscious when they stabbed him with the spear, and then they buried him, and then like he sort of came to after they like buried him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm stuck in a cave. Get the fuck out of here!" And he was like, he got out the cave. I've always thought that was a possibility. Did he come back from the dead? No. I believe they're not. Ancient people do be hallucinating. Have you ever seen the video? There's a short of what ain't like biblically accurate angels looked like. It's no wonder they used to say fucking be not afraid. Oh fucking hell, are we? Fucking terrifying. I'll send a picture. I'll send a fucking link. I'll put it in the I will put it in the dun dun dun. Give us a second. I'll put the link in the stream. Whoops. Yeah, they're horrifying. A lot of eyes, that's right. Goodbye, Jack Dean. It has been an absolute pleasure. It always is. Please stop by again. Jura Rose, you didn't send shit. Did you ever read the New Testament? Bits of it? Like read bits of it at school? Old Testament, where it's at, didn't like the reformulation. You should try it again. I remember bits. Yes, Micah. Was it Micah who made the crisps reference as well? He's on fire? Or was it Josiah? Joe, yeah. Josiah and Micah are absolutely destroying it tonight. It's outrageous. I prefer Magic Treehouse. I must admit, I'm not religious. I have to be honest with you, Examine Truth. I'm not a religious person. Josiah and Mike are like the Mike V and Denby. That's right. The old Mike V and Denby. Useless. What do we need them for? Hope everyone has enjoyed the bubbles tonight. I don't think else smells nice as heaven does. Do you think it's more soapy fragrances in heaven? You get smoky fragrances. You get more smoky fragrances. I don't think hell smells as nice as heaven. It depends. Maybe hell smells like T-Rex. It doesn't smell like T-Rex. T-Rex isn't that foul. I don't know if you could experience hell through the medium of fragrance, could you? There's Hell and High Water. Hell and High Water by both at London. Could smell like that. And then you could have Queer d'Orange. As to be fair, if heaven smelled like Queer d'Orange, I wouldn't want to go there. Hell is the reformulated quorum. Yikes. I've got a vintage quorum, right? And that shit is just itch in a bottle. That fucked me up, that stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. Too much oat moss. No, I've said that. I didn't mean it. So there was a lot of oat moss in it, and it gave us, I won't lie to you, it did give us a little bit of an itch. Next time I'll just take an antihistamine or something before I fucking wear it. Examine Truth. Have you ever read any of the Apocrypha? If you're not religious, why do you keep the Torah? Spray some Avignon and read the New Testament. I'm quite interested in the Avignon papacy, actually. I think it's quite an interesting subject. If Balenciaga smelled, if heaven smelled like Balenciaga Pour Homme, I'd be loving me neighbor like you wouldn't fucking believe. I can't stand my neighbor. He's a right dick. A proper fucking piss-soaked old fucking alcoholic. If you're not religious, why do you keep the Torah on your bedside table? I don't know. Get to know me Jewish friends better? I have a smoky fragrance on the way. Healy Cardinal. That's right, you do. I listen, don't read. But the Old Testament is much more symbolic, condensed, and difficult modes of writing. I mean, a lot of it's like ancient wisdom, isn't it? You know, like fucking don't do this, do that. It's all before like religion's all to do with like a guide to life before there were like institutions like schools and fucking institutions like fucking medical fucking aid, you know. Love thy neighbor because there's no knowing when a fucking bear's gonna come along and fucking try to eat you both. Do you know what I mean? And if you love your neighbor, then he'll sort you out. If you've got to fight off a bear, or I don't know, what do you get like in the Middle East that'll eat you? Snake, spider. You've exercised, Jura Rose. Just don't spray on your balls next time. What quorum? I'll try not to. It's hard trying to avoid my balls, though. Do you know what I mean? I often have this trouble when I'm spraying perfume. I'd be first in line if heaven smelled like Cuir d'Ange. Oof. Not for me. The Old Testament was written predominantly during post-slavery in Babylon. A lot of the early books are written in such context, fiction, to give people hope. Noah, Abraham, David, Moses, etc. Do you think zoologists will make dung beetle fragrance? I don't know. I'm not Victor Wong. I'm not sure what he'll make next. No, sorry, I do know what he'll make next. He's making Scarab Beetle, isn't he? With Ensarud. Is it Ensarud? Sorry, no, that's a lie, isn't it? Sultan Pasha. Be interesting to think what he should or could make next. Duck. Perhaps he should make duck or ram. Sheep. I always have trouble finding a realistic church incense fragrance. They never quite capture the smell of my bishop's taint sweat correctly. My bishop's taint sweat correctly. You getting round the back of that fucking... Getting round the back of the bishop. You've been beating the back of the bishop. That's what you've been doing. That's not about cookie points. It's a relationship with God, covenant, tendency towards a family. The most that God could give to man, he gave by becoming a man and remaining forever as a God-man in all worlds visible and invisible. I'm not sure I even know what that means, even though you have just explained it. How does boss number 1 smell? I'm thinking of blind buying it. I like it. Are you thinking of getting the modern or the vintage? I've got 3-4 vintages and I love it. It's fantastic. I don't know how it would go down in church for you though. Vintage, I would I recommend. It's a fantastic fragrance. Honey and this sort of pissy urinal cake. Do you like Koros? So if you can imagine Koros, right? Take out like the soap and the patchouli and add honey. Just amp up the honey a lot. It's a fresh honey. I like Lapidus more. Yeah, it's along those sorts of lines. It's a fantastic fragrance. So basically, a small tribal group, the Hebrews, were losing their identity as slaves, and the authors wrote down as many stories and tales, many of which borrow from regional stories of the time. Yes, not to split everyone down religious lines, but we'll go with the vintage boss number 1. I can't tell you that I think it's a fantastic fragrance, whether that encourages you to buy it or not. There are a lot of people who would buy it off you if you didn't like it, I imagine. Will you and Eugene make a top 10 spring-summer fragrance soon? I haven't spoke to him about it, but I'm not against it. I really want to get back to streaming with Eugene, to be honest. I've just been fucking sleeping. Like last night, I was asleep at this time. You know? Everything's a copy of a copy. There's nothing original under the sun. I would agree Genesis's polemics on cosmological stories of the day, trying to provide an apologetic for a monotheistic God. One God, it's still true, prophetic, typological, and it's fulfilled in New Testament. It's definitely not a scientific textbook. The biblical creation story, for example, was common knowledge in Babylon. Borrowed it. The idea of a flood came from the Sumerians, the Babylonians then took it, then etc., etc. I will stream with you soon, Rich. Thank you, Ram. I need to learn how to use a fucking StreamYard account so I can just like add people. I would have Eugene on my stream for once. I could return the favor. Amazing. Can you imagine? And Ram. I'll try and get Audrey Jane on at some point. That sounds like a stream I'd watch. I'd watch that stream. I'd watch that stream. Just a shame I can't watch my own streams as they're happening. The more we move towards remembering events that have universal significance, the more this memory will appear symbolic and condensed. says examine truth. I haven't seen you before, examine truth. Have you been on the? Have you been on a, like, not been on a stream, but you know, like, commented on a stream before? Yeah. Well, welcome anyway. Oh, I hope you are well. Audrey Jane and Jeed. I'm giving up on that promise. The origins and history of how the Hebrew religion became monotheistic is very interesting. I'd highly recommend you search it up. A lot of scholars have plenty of writings on it. I won't spoil. I've seen you on You Smells Good. Aha. It's nice to see you here. Oh, I've got an itchy face. I am tired and hungry. It is not a good mix. So I think now we have cracked 2.5 hours. Oh God, we're on wait 3 hours. No, I'm stopping now. Get a latte. I will not get a latte. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea though. I am going to go now. It has been go feed the ducks. Somebody feed the ducks. Rice. I've had rice tonight actually. Thank you everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. It has been nice to meet you, Extreme Truth. Thank you everybody. Thank you for everyone who left a like. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you to everyone who watched. It has been great. I've had a good time. Good night, everyone. See you later.